All right, according to Miami Herald, Dolphins beat writer, I can't pronounce his name. I'll try to remember to put the tweet on the description, on the screen, but I'll put the article link in the description that the Lions are planning to pick fifth tonight. So, some talks a little bit yesterday kind of went over my head because I had the little dog with me, Mason, our new dog, that said that the Dolphins actually wanted to keep the Lions, to get the Lions third pick and keep the fifth pick. So I guess they couldn't come to an agreement with the Lions dropping all the way down to whatever the next two first-round picks that the Dolphins had. So right now, they saying the reports coming out, the Lions are planning to pick fifth. So let's talk about that. And it's down to Derrick Brown and Jeff Okudah. If it's down to that, I'll tell you which one I prefer. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Detroit Lions football talk right here on Mercy Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I probably won't go live for the draft on this channel. Maybe after they make their selection, I'll go live, or maybe in the morning or something like that. But I may go live on my other channel just for overall draft, Goodfellas Sports TV, but I wouldn't bank on it. I just like to enjoy the draft. And that's why I don't really go live on Piston games like that. But let's talk about it. So if they are moving to 5, 2 spots back, I don't know what they're going to get out of it. I don't think they'll get an additional one of their other first-round picks. I think they may get an additional second. They got to get at least a second-round pick, or a third or something next year as well. So if they are moving to fifth, they had to move back. If they really are targeting Derrick Brown or Jeff Okudah, they might have another opportunity to move back again. So don't rule that out. So if they can get a second from Miami at least, or a third, and then they can move back again, and somebody else say, oh, Miami took Tua, or it's to tackle somebody like, or whatever the situation, it may be, they might have an opportunity to move back twice, because going to fifth, they still ahead of the Chargers. And there's some other teams that probably want a quarterback. So don't be surprised if New Orleans or New England or somebody other teams jump up and want to get in front of, Los Angeles Chargers and get a quarterback. So don't rule out the Lions moving back twice in this draft. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's the smart thing to do. If you don't get Chase Young or you don't like Isaiah Simmons, Jeff Okudah and Derrick Brown, they're not going to change at least right now, Jeff Okudah not going to change your life right now. It's not going to save your job. They want to save their job. They got to have a grand slam draft. And if you really want to save your job, it's probably got to be a tackle. It got to be one of those great tackles up there. Then the next round, you probably got to find a good defensive tackle that's late. You got to build the trenches up. If you build the trenches up, that's the only way it's going to save this football team. You got to hit on the offensive line, hit on defensive line, and you probably got to find you some running backs that you really, really like. But that's how it's going to have to be. You're going to have to really, really hit and build that O-line up, build that D-line up. If you're able to stop the run, get after the passer, you're able to run the ball, run block, and pass block, the Lions will have a successful season with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. And, even with a great defensive line, that linebackers and corners and safeties will look good. But that's the only way they say this draft. If they smash and build up the trenches and they get, some running backs that can help them out. So, but moving back to fifth, I think that's a smart move to do. And moving down again, if you like Derrick Brown, you can move down again and get Javon Kinlaw. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of dudes you can get. If you want to move down later, it's a cornerback from TCU you can get. It's just abundance of talent that you can get. People talking Jonathan Taylor with a kid from Appalachian State. What's his name? Drayton. He out cold. He a good, speed back. Zach Moss. I love his tape. You know what I'm saying? The kid from, what's his name? Joshua Kelly from UCLA. You got backs down there late. You got linemen and guards down there late. You can get multiple second-round picks, to go with your second-round pick. Cesar Ruiz, he can instantly upgrade you at guard. He could play some center, late in the draft. You could move down and back down and still get the kid from Louisville. Yeah, he had a small drug issue. That is what it is. Play him at right tackle. Hopefully he can go into left tackle. You know what I'm saying? You got to take risks. But if they want to be a successful football team next year, it has to be the trenches on out. But if they pick in fifth, I guarantee you they probably entertain it moving down again. Because if Miami take Tua, somebody going to want Love, Herbert, or whatever. And I think New York is going to take a tackle. or Isaiah Simmons. So if they move to fifth and two would go and somebody itchy for a quarterback and they want to jump in front of San Diego and they think it's a separation between Herbert and Love or Love and Herbert, somebody going to want to jump up to fifth. So don't rule out the Lions moving down twice in this draft. But, they basically saying, the report saying this could be smoke. It's down to Jeff Okudah, Derrick Brown. My preference is probably going to be Jeff Okudah. I didn't know Derrick Brown had a historically bad combine until I looked again, and I take Jeff Okudah over Derrick Brown. On second thought, I think Derrick Brown he ain't gonna penetrate. He ain't gonna be the pass rusher you need. You don't spend a fifth round or a third overall pick or a fifth overall pick, on a run stopper. You got to be Warren Sapp. You got to be Ndamukong Suh. You got to be Gerald McCoy. You got to be John Randall. You got to be one of those twitchy guys, Reggie White on the inside to be able to go in the top five. So Derrick Brown, he could solidify the run game, but to get to garnish that attention or garnish that pick, you got to be able to penetrate and be twitchy and be able to get up the field. You can get run stoppers down there in the draft, later in the draft. So, I would go Jeff Okudah. If it's down to Derrick Brown, Jeff Okudah. Okudah is probably going to have more of an impact as far as, being a probably top, cornerback in the league at some point. So if it's down to those two, I prefer Jeffrey Okudah just because I think he's a better overall football player. I think Derrick Brown's position is more impactful, but really he's a first and second down player. Okudah is a 3-down player, and he probably can give you some love on special teams as well too. So I'm rolling with Jeff Okudah over Derrick Brown if that's what it is. Now if I'm picking fifth, like I said before, I'll move down again and try to acquire multiple picks, and I probably would either take Kinlaw or I would take a tackle. Like I said before, that tackle from Louisville, I know he raw. I would put him at right, let Decker hold left down, and next year he'd be ready to go at left tackle. That's just personally what I would do if I'm moving down. And if I can get an additional first-round pick, I would take Kinlaw. But if I get a multiple, day 2 pick, second-round pick, I come back, maybe try to take a couple second-round picks. If Kinlaw's still there or a defensive player is still there, I'll try to move back up in the first round and get him. If not, I'll take Cesar Ruiz in the second round. And I just say, man, I just rebuild my offensive line. I rebuilt it with right tackle. I can put Cesar Ruiz at left guard. I slide Big V at right guard. Now I got my offensive line in the future. All I got to worry about next year is getting me a right tackle, and I can find that. If I get some additional, second round picks, then I'm looking at, what do we got left as far as, bringing in a D tackle, you know what I'm saying? And then, just bringing in multiple defensive linemen. You got guys that are pass rusher savants, coming down the drain. So if it's down to trading down and doing it that way, that's just what I'm doing. The offensive line is more critical right now than any other part because your quarterback got a broken back for the last 2 years. And if he go down again, then you're going to have another 3-win season. The positive about that is you get opportunity to probably get Trevor Lawrence. But the negative is they might not have a college football season. So Trevor Lawrence is going to have to warm up next year. He hadn't played football in probably a year if they cancel the college football season. So that's something you got to look at as well, too, with the Detroit Lions. So, but if it's between Okudah and Brown, I'm taking Okudah. I'm not spending a 5th-round pick on a run stopper. That got bust written all over it, man. If he was more of the twitchy penetrating type, and if the defensive tackle position wasn't so deep in the draft, maybe I would consider it. But if they take Brown, they got to move down again and get him later in the draft. But I think Kinlaw is a better fit as far as penetrating and getting up in the gap. But you, down the line in the draft, you still got to find you another plugger, though. You got to have a plugger behind Danny Shelton, but 5th, 3rd, that's not good enough. That's too high, But, hey, it's just my personal opinion. I prefer Okudah over Brown. If you're talking about what about Isaiah Simmons and Okudah, give me Okudah over Isaiah Simmons, too, only because I don't think they're going to be able to utilize Isaiah Simmons' talents to the best of his ability. I think they just not going to know what to do with him. So that's just my humble opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to, social media. Twitter is the fastest way to get in touch with me if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, want to make a donation to the channel. Cash App, PayPal there as well. Best way to donate is to share the video. And let me know what you guys think. Okudah, Brown. If the Lions do trade down to 5, should they trade down again? Just let me know what you guys think. But it should be an interesting day for the draft. Y'all know I'm going to try to cover it as long as I got time and I'm watching. So I'm going to take a nap after I come back from Ann Arbor, get ready for the draft. And hopefully everybody there to join me when I do my reaction video. So it's only the first round today, and then day 2, the second and third. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. Motor City Sports Talk. We go. Woo. Long day.